Hey everyone, it's Ruin Nation, the Respawn Gamer, coming at you one more time with some Battlefield 1 beta gameplay. Today's topic, I'm going to talk about digital trade-ins, digital game trade-ins to be more specific, on Xbox, on Steam, on PlayStation, any other networks that you guys might be subscribed to. Because when it comes down to it, if you sell the license back to whatever network you bought the game from, you want to be able to play the game anymore. But you can still keep the game downloaded if you want to. A lot of people on the console, some of them that don't have external hard drives, have actually started deleting some of their games they don't play anymore. Especially for those that only have a 500 gig console and games are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 gigs for the most part for the major AAA titles. So when it comes down to it, they have one or two options: delete the game off their hard drive, or don't buy any new games that are large enough to fill up their hard drive, which in this day and age, you know, that was good when games were a gigabyte or two, but now when even minor titles are 6 or 7 gigs and DLCs now are like 15 gigs for some games, you know, it takes its toll on those who only have a 500 gig console. Not so much the PC market, but there are people that only have, you know, a couple hundred gigs on the PC too, but most people have upgraded to terabyte drives. Myself, I have an external 4.5 drive on my Xbox One, and I have a 3.0 drive on my PC, so I'm in no danger anytime soon of running out of space on either or. But I think allowing people to sell a game license back to a game developer, even if it's maybe just DLC that you don't play anymore, because let's face it, after your game is 4 or 5 years old, and even if the DLC is online, most of us don't play it anymore. You know, we sit there and, you know, we play it when it's fresh and new, and like most gamers, you know, except for the devout few, but for the most gamers, we'll play a game for 2 or 3 months until the next big AAA title comes out, or a nice indie game. And what happens? You know, we don't touch the game anymore until a new DLC comes out, and if a new DLC doesn't come out, you might just delete it from the hard drive or forget about it entirely. So I think being able to sell a digital game would add some monetary value to it when it comes down to it, because most people that get physical games, you know, you can trade it in, get some money, whether it be to like GameStop or maybe a friend, you could sell it for a couple extra dollars, maybe to Best Buy. That was the one downside of digital games. You couldn't resell them to anybody. The plus side of digital games is you could preload them 2 or 3 weeks in advance. You didn't have to worry about going out to a midnight release wherever it was, Target, Best Buy, GameStop, and sitting there and getting home an hour later, taking 2 hours to install the game. And then, you know, everyone on your friends list is already playing the game because they have digital. The only time I buy digital games is when, well, I shouldn't say the only time. The times that I buy digital games is when there's not a collector's edition I want. Like, the only one collector's edition I got was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It was a great value for $150. You got the game, you got the statue with Geralt and the Griffin. You got a necklace, which I wear occasionally, which is pretty nice. You got the cloth map, and you got an art book. Digital doesn't give you that aspect, but more and more games don't really have a really good digital market when it comes to games coming with something physical you can actually hold in your hand. It's all, you know, this alternative skin, this weapon skin, maybe additional weapons that you get right off the bat instead of waiting. And let's face it, if you have a game like Call of Duty or Battlefield, you know, Battlefield 3, no one really plays anymore. You know, all the DLCs have been out for years. Even, you know, the more hardcore players, I mean, they may play it, but they're not playing it every single day. You know, they're playing it maybe once a week. You know, like Battlefield 1, you know, it's going to be around for the next couple of years, but after that, you know, just, there's no reason to have games, especially when game servers close. Like, I know a lot of backwards compatibility now are reopening up multiplayer servers, like the older Call of Duties, the older Battlefields. Now you can go ahead and play games on different servers versus what they used to be, because I think they're out of the hands now of the actual game companies, and they're in a third party, maybe server, or maybe your own private server you have. Like I think Battlefield, you could rent a server, maybe it's something like that, where you could go ahead and do that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, being able to send a game license back to a developer, even if it is $5, $6, $7, would be beneficial to some people, especially if they're running out of hard drive space. Because what are you going to do when you run out of hard drive space? There's two options. One, don't buy any new games, or delete the game from your hard drive. And even if you get a few bucks for a game, that could offset the value of the game that you're rebuying. Like, instead of paying a full $60 price with tax, whatever your tax is, you're getting a discount of $6 or $7 because you're digitally trading in that game. I think that's beneficial for those people that are running out of hard drive space, and those people that don't go back to games all the time like most of us do. Like myself, I try to go back to games that I haven't played in a while just to get replayability out of it. But, you know, to some aspects, you know, you go that when there's new DLC, you go that when there's a new feature added. But, you know, most people play a game one time, they finish through, one or two things happen. They just forget about it, they have it on their game shelf, they never come back to it, or they go sell it to their friends, or they go sell it to GameStop or Best Buy, and they get a little bit of money. Usually they get screwed over with how much money that they get back for it from the retail stores. But let me know what you guys think about that type of program, if you would be willing to keep your digital game, but just selling the license back to the game developer, maybe just to offset the price of a new game coming out. Because sooner or later, physical copies are going to be the way of the dodo bird. You won't be able to trade anything in for another game. Last time I traded a game in was 2002, 2001, and I made an oath to myself I would never again resell a game to GameStop. Back then, they were the only ones doing it at the time, and I kind of got screwed over on the resell of it, just because the fact the game was so old. Forget what it was, but I got like $3 or $4 for it, and it was that was store credit. I don't know what it would have been with cash, but I was a few dollars short of buying a new release game that I really wanted, and didn't have any money, and then my next paycheck was a week away, and I had a few days off, so I decided to go home, get a game I didn't play anymore, and go ahead and sold it back to GameStop, which they probably ranked up, pushed up to like $10 or $10 or $15. But let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, the gameplay. I was still getting used to some of this. Kind of hard to see the distinction between enemies and friendlies sometime in the game. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's just, no, there were times where I thought I was shooting a friendly guy and it turned out to be an enemy, and there were times I wouldn't shoot a guy because I thought he was friendly, it turned out to be an enemy. So it's one of those things. Links will be in the description to my Facebook and my Twitter and my Twitch. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, guys, and just remember, I might rage, but it's only a video game. You live, you die, you respawn in a video game. I don't take it too seriously. Until next time, guys, this was Ruination signing off. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and good night.